beard, bro. I cut my beard. I don't know why I did that, but I cut my beard, bro, and I look weird.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Weird, bro. I look weird. Look, even though I look younger, I ain't young still though. But yo, I look so.
Ho, brother, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
Let's not do that again. Today we gonna react to 5 true Snapchat horror stories. If y'all use Snapchat in 2024, I don't know what to say. I peep. So, yo, I swear, yo, on everything I love, when my beard grow back, bro, I'm not taking it off, bro. Open up.
This is something that happened about 4 years ago. It all started when I got added by this random guy on Snapchat. I think his name was John something. I don't remember exactly, but I didn't immediately recognize his name or anything. Still, I added him back and didn't think too much of it. During this time, I was in college working on my master's degree. With the 5+ years that I had spent in college and the various jobs that I worked, I figured he maybe knew me from somewhere. I also had quite a few friends on the Snapchat app. So anyways, a few days went by after this. One day I was at home in my apartment, and for some reason I looked onto the Snap map. This map shows you and all of your friends' locations if they have it turned on. Well, I noticed that there was a guy on the Snap map seemingly in my apartment complex. It was the guy who had recently added me. I figured that maybe he lived there as well. He did not have his last name on his Snapchat, so I didn't know who he was or how to find him.
I paused. Bro, who in the hell, who in their right minds go on Snapchat and put their real names? Like, why? In every social media I got, like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, I got my channel's name, but I'm never putting my real name, bro. Like,
Side of town with a couple of friends. We were at a park working out, and it was kind of a popular area. There were quite a few other people there, and shortly before leaving, I looked on my phone, and I looked at the Snap map again. I remember that my friends and I were seeing where another one of our friends was. Well, I noticed that the same guy was at the park. He did not appear to be right next to me, but was pretty close. I looked around, and I didn't know what he even looked like, but I also didn't notice anything strange. Within my sight, there were probably at least 20 different people. Maybe this was just a coincidence, but it seemed kind of odd to me. Things got even stranger though. I started to get curious, and when I got home, I looked on my Snap map again. Once more, the guy was seemingly right outside of my apartment a short time after I got home. The next day, I went to the grocery store, which was just a couple of miles away from my place. When I was there, I randomly had the thought to look on the map. I thought, there's no way this guy's gonna be here as well. But when I looked, he was there, and according to the map, was in the parking lot. Now, the locations on Snapchat only update when you're on the app, and they're also not always 100% accurate with location, but they're usually pretty close. I looked around the store for the rest of the time that I was there. I honestly couldn't tell where the guy was though. I mean, I didn't even know what he looked like. But this was very suspicious, and I started to wonder if he even lived in my apartment complex, or was he possibly stalking me? When I got home that night, I looked on the map almost immediately. The guy appeared on the map seemingly right outside of my place again. Now I decided to ask him some questions. I sent him a chat on Snapchat asking who he was and how he knows me. After sending the chat, I went into my settings and then turned my location off. Then I saw that the guy had opened my message, but had seemingly left me on red. I was very confused. I lived on the first floor of my apartment building. I was in my living room, and then there was suddenly a knock at my window. It was coming from my bedroom. I went inside, and as soon as I did, saw this man standing there looking into my window. I had never seen him before in my life. This was the guy who added me on Snapchat? I moved out of the room, but he continued to knock on my window, and the knocking was seeming to get louder. I decided to call the police. This guy was appearing to stalk me or something, so I told the police what was going on, and they said that they would be there shortly. Meanwhile, the man at the window had mostly stopped knocking by then. I went into my bedroom to look, and I no longer saw him there. After looking out of the window, it seemed as though he had left. But just moments after that, I heard the sound of somebody trying to open the front door to my apartment. It was locked, and that was followed by a knock at the front door. I stayed in my bedroom. After that one knock, though, I didn't hear anything else. Things were quiet until the police got there maybe 5 to 10 minutes later. After that, I spoke to them and gave them every bit of information that I could. Unfortunately, it seemed like the man had left, and since then, I've never heard from him again. College. I went to a pretty average-sized university. As a freshman, I was required to live in the dorms. These were a few buildings that had maybe 5 floors each. The rooms were small, but they were decent, and I was lucky enough to have my own room. This meant that I would not have to have a roommate at all. So like many college students, I would use the Snapchat app all the time, and I communicated with most of my friends there. Not long into my first semester, this one girl added me. Her name was Lily. After she added me, I assumed that she probably went to the same school. I had 5 classes, and some of them had over 100 people in it. I didn't know Lily off the top of my head if she was in a class with me or something, but I figured that she probably was around campus. Not long after I added her back, she sent me a snap. When I opened it, I saw that she appeared to be around my same age. I snapped her back and we got to talking a little bit. She told me that she also went to my school. We snapped on and off for the next couple of days. I never saw her on campus or anything, but there were thousands of students. She seemed cool and I was enjoying getting to know her, but then things changed.
Alright, I guess. She added you in Snapchat, in your school, and everything. He added you. She added you in Snapchat, and she's probably in your school, right? Why haven't you approached her yet, bro? Why haven't you looked for her or text her, yo, let's meet up somewhere, la da 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 da, so you know it's actually Lily, bro, the girl. Cause it might be a guy, bro. It might be a guy trying to do some weird stuff, bro. But yeah, and you wouldn't have to go to tell this story. I'm just saying. Alright, look.
One night, I was by myself in my dorm room. I had just finished homework and was playing some Madden on my PlayStation. I got a snap from Lily in this time. She said that she was in my dorm building and wanted to come by and say hello. I thought this was a little bit strange.
Alright, I see what you did. What was that? The thing I was talking later. Yeah, she did the first move, but I know he find it weird because he haven't seen this girl, never seen this girl, and she randomly now wanna meet up, whatever. I bet, but the thing is, if y'all gonna meet up, have couple of friends with you, bro. Like with your bros. I know you got friends, cause you're in school. I don't know, cause when I was in school, I didn't have friends. But look, have couple people with you, and go meet the person.
I mean, I had never met her in person before, and I didn't know why she happened to be in my building. Still, I figured why not, and I gave her my room number. So about 5 minutes after,
Giving her your room number was a stupid move. It was a stupid move because whenever you're gonna meet someone, you don't give them your address or where you live. Hints where you live. You tell them, look, let's meet up at the park or at McDonald's or somewhere. You don't tell them where you actually live, bro, because you don't know the person.
After this, there was a knock on my door. I got up from my chair and walked over, but before opening the door, I decided to just look through the peephole. When I did not see Lily standing there. Instead, I saw these two large men. And they were not even college-aged men. These guys had to be in their 30s or 40s. I was so confused. Obviously, I didn't answer the door, and thankfully it was locked. I went on to Snapchat, and there was a message from Lily. She said, "I'm at the door, let me in." I told her, "No, there's two big guys at the door. I don't see you at all." She then opened that, but did not reply. Then I watched as her Snapchat character went away on the screen, meaning that I had just been blocked. I realized that she probably wasn't who she claimed to be. That, and she was...
I knew it, bro. I knew it from the start. Randomly people adding you on Snapchat and pretend to be someone else. I knew it from the start. It was not going to be a Lily. It was going to be some weird people doing some weird stuff.
was probably working with these two guys outside of my door. There was then another loud knocking at the door from the two men. They were still there and not going away. I then called the campus security number and quickly told them what was going on. My dorm building was old, and I didn't trust these thin wooden doors to hold up if these guys wanted to bust in. They continued knocking. I was told that a campus safety officer would be there shortly. I looked around my room quickly for any type of a weapon that I could use. I really had nothing though. The men knocked at the door on and off for the next 2 or 3 minutes. Then I heard another voice farther down the hall. The security officer was here. The two men took off running in the other direction. I went to the door and looked out, and when I did, I saw that they were gone. I opened up the door, and I saw the safety officer running after the men, but they had gotten a long head start against him because he was at the complete opposite end of the hallway. The men were unfortunately able to get away. I spoke with some school officials and campus safety officers about what had happened the next day. The Lily girl did not go to my college. Luckily, after that, I never heard from her or the other guys again. That was the craziest thing to happen in my time in college. A couple of months ago, I had a scary experience on Snapchat. I remember that out of nowhere, one night, this random creepy guy added me. Well, I didn't know who he was at first, so I added him back out of curiosity. I thought that maybe I knew him, but he sent me a snap a very short time later. When I opened it, I saw this guy who I did not recognize, but he was in a dark room using the flash and holding the camera extremely close to his face. His face looked disturbing, to say the least. I'm not sure if he was trying to be creepy or what, but he sent like 4 pictures, all right in a row, and said hi to me. After seeing them, I asked him who he was. He started sending more snaps. I didn't even want to open them though. The man sent more creepy pictures of his face really close up when I finally did. He told me that he was going to come over. I quickly turned off my location, which had been on. Then I decided to just delete the guy. I should have never added him back in the first place. But I didn't know, maybe he was somebody that I knew or something. But after I had deleted him, there were still a few snaps that he had sent before he had been deleted. I opened them. One of them said, "I already got your location." That one really creeped me out. I just hoped that he was only trying to threaten me or something. Maybe he didn't actually have my location. And even if he did, maybe he wouldn't come over. This was already nighttime, but it wasn't that late. So for the rest of the night, I was at home and nothing happened. By the end of the night, I had forgotten about the whole ordeal. But I would soon be reminded, because when I was starting to get ready for bed, there was a knock at my front door. I had a bad feeling about it immediately. I mean, who knocks on somebody's door at almost midnight? Still, I had to see who was there, so I walked into the living room and looked out of the window. And that's when I saw this man standing there. It was the same guy who had been Snapchatting me. I was so creeped out. I ran back for my bedroom and hoped that the guy would go away. When I had reached inside my room, though, I heard some loud noises. The guy was not knocking on the door, but seemingly trying to open it. I got my phone out and called 911. I told the operator that somebody was trying to enter my house. I gave my address and name and hoped that somebody would be there soon. But after this, I didn't hear any more noises from the front door for a while. Still, I wasn't going to leave my bedroom. Moments later, I heard a noise from the back door to the house. The guy was trying to get in there. Then there was more loud noises. It sounded like he was maybe trying to break the window. These are just educated guesses, because I couldn't see from where I was, but that's what it sounded like. I stayed where I was in my bedroom, and luckily, the police got there much faster than expected. Before I knew it, I saw flashing lights from my bedroom window in the driveway. The man was still in my backyard. He tried running away, but the police were able to catch him. It was probably the best scenario that I could have hoped for. I still don't know how the guy knew me. I didn't recognize him at all.
This is another reason I don't got Snapchat. I remember one time when I had Snapchat back in 2015, I added someone. Like I didn't even knew them, but I added someone, and they was on some weird stuff, bro. Sending me pictures like of like of their house. I don't know of their house, something like that. They thought it was my house, but they kept sending me pictures of houses and stuff, and it was weird. That's why I don't like use it. And I have it on this phone, but I don't even use it like that.
This is something that happened back when I was in high school. So one night, I was at home and in my bedroom. It was pretty late, and my parents and siblings had gone to bed already. My room was at one end of the front corner of the house and on the first floor. I often stayed up pretty late back then for some reason. But I remember that out of nowhere, I got this call on Snapchat. I didn't recognize who it was from. I don't even remember the username. It was something really hard to memorize. When I looked and didn't know who it was, I was very curious. So I actually decided to answer it. It was not a video call, but just a regular call. When I picked it up, at first I heard nothing. I asked who was there. Then I heard this whisper coming from the other end. I really couldn't make out what was being said though. I was trying to understand and turning the volume up on my phone. Then I made out a few words, but not much. I asked again who was calling, but the person hung up. Now, I guess I had some type of setting on my Snapchat where just anybody could call me or send me pictures, because shortly after this person hung up on me, I received a snap from them. I was very curious, so I opened it up. What I saw was somebody wearing a full clown mask taking a selfie. It was very strange to say the least. I sent them a message, again asking who this was, but unfortunately I did not get a response to this. Well, I thought that was that. I was a little freaked out by the whole thing, but the rest of the
I feel like their stories are like a little old. And why I say that? Because when he mentioned the clown, the guy with the clown mask, back in I think it's 2015 or 2017, around that era, people was going outside. People was going outside with clown mask, clown outfit, scaring people, like people in the park at night, scaring other people with the clown mask and everything.
in my bedroom late at night again. This time, I remember that I was sitting at my desk. In front of it is a window that sort of looks out to the front yard. You can also see part of the street. I remember noticing somebody walking down the street. It was very dark, so I couldn't see that well, and at this late night hour, it seemed odd that somebody would be out walking. But then the person came closer, and I realized that it was some guy wearing a clown mask, the same type of one that the guy was wearing who had snapped me the night before. I thought this was very weird when I saw it. But this guy did not walk into our yard or anything. He just continued to walk down my street. I moved out of my bedroom and went into the living room to keep watching him. He continued to walk down the street until he was soon out of sight. Then, after that, I never saw him again. I blocked that account that had snapped me, and since then, nothing more happened. I'm still curious about it though. Was that clown the same person? It had to be. How did he know me though? That's what I'd like to find out.
This is the end of the video. Hope y'all enjoy. If y'all like these scary stories or whatever, let me know in the comments. like the video. That will help a lot. That will help so much. And subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. It's free, bro. It's literally, it's literally free, bro. You could go over there, just click the subscribe button. Click the subscribe button. It's free. You ain't gotta pay nothing. It's free. You like free stuff? I know you like free stuff, cause I like free stuff too. Alright? So look what you gonna do. You gonna go down there, like you gonna scroll, and you gonna click the subscribe button. It's free. And turn the bell on so you won't miss a video either. So yeah, I'ma see y'all in the next video. Yo, what is that? Oh, it's the sun. Peace.